check it, just put it down, pull it out, wipe it clean. 10W30. Air filter is located under here. Your fuel filter is on the side. Being a V-twin, it has 2 spark plugs, one on each side of the engine. Your battery is right here, positive, negative. Try to keep the terminals clean so they don't corrode. You can put Vaseline or some type of spray on there to keep that from corroding.
Right.
Any type of petroleum. Old timers would use oil, but that's just a mess.
Right. So just regular household Vaseline.
Yep. Yeah, because it's a petroleum product, and petroleum keeps acid from corroding.
Okay. With the dipstick, I didn't notice. Does that screw in, or does
it's just
or drop in?
basically just snaps. It's got
Okay.
2. If you look, it's got 2 points right there, 1 point right there.
Because I always, with the lawnmower, I never knew if I should screw it all the way in to measure the depth or just drop it.
The older machines, they would. Old Briggs, you would have to thread it on to
Yeah.
check it. These ones, you don't. You just.
Okay, so
Pick
it's
it back
it's
up.
going to be all the way down. Okay, gotcha.
Your mower deck engagement, it's manual engaged, so it's cable, not electric. Off, on. It's got an hour meter that lets you know when you need to service your machine. This is your reverse implement option. What this allows you to do, this enables you to mow in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're mowing and you want to back up and keep the deck on, press this yellow button, step on the reverse pedal, let go of the yellow button, you can mow in reverse. Throttle, all the way up is choke. It's not spring loaded, so you have to push it back. You'll feel it click. That means you're at full throttle. Always idle it down before you shut it off. Parking brake. Machine won't start unless this is depressed. So you have to depress the parking brake. You don't necessarily have to lock it in place, but you have to depress it with your foot.
Mm-hmm.
With it like this, locked in place, start the machine without being on it. Get off the machine with it running, it's going to die without the parking brake engaged. You cannot get off the machine with the mower deck engaged. This is your cutting height. Goes from 1 inch all the way up to 4 inches. Try to keep your tire pressure level. You should be 14 in the rear, 14 in the front, 10 in the rear. If your tire pressure is off, what will happen is your frame of your tractor will be off, so your deck level will be off, so you'll be cutting at an angle.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll assume something's wrong with the machine, and it just needs tire.
Right.
Air in the tire. Fuel sight's right in front, beneath the seat. Right now it's full of fuel, so you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, that's
But
interesting.
You'll be able to see it when
Okay.
the logo gets low. This will actually look kind of white instead of yellowish.
Great.
Cruise control is on this side. Only works for forward. Step on the forward pedal wherever you feel comfortable. Pull that up, let go of the forward pedal. It'll lock in place and continue to move. To unlock it, just tap the pedal. Side discharge, your holder. This is your seat adjuster. Wherever you need to adjust it. This is your gasoline fill. If you look at the top of this cap, it has a tiny little hole. This is a vent hole.
Right.
If that gets plugged, what'll happen is you'll be running your machine, all of a sudden it'll just die like it's out of fuel and won't start back up. Check that vent cap. It's a very common problem with. We go out to a lot of houses where people are like, oh, my machine's dead, it won't start. Come to find out, just the fuel cap is clogged.
Great tip.
And then right here, this is your neutral rod. Put the machine in neutral so you can move it around by hand.
Oh, okay.
If this is engaged, you can still move it forward, but as you can see, it's tough, and you really can't move it backwards without forcing it.
Right.
That's pretty much it. Oh, you got your wash ports on the side over here. You're gonna hook this up to your garden hose.
Right.
Your best bet is to do this after every mowing. Hook your water up, turn your water on, get on the machine, start it up, engage your blades. Your blades will help push that water to the other side of the deck and get all the grass off. Once you're done, shut your water off, shut the machine down, shut the water off, disconnect it, get back on the machine and start it back up, start the blades up. that'll air dry the deck so you don't get any rusting or water pooling.
That's great. Okay, yeah, I checked out. You probably, I think you gave me a manual in that folder, user manual.
The operator's manual.
Yeah, and I was checking out.
That'll show you how to take the mower deck off if you ever needed to take it off.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to be doing your own servicing or if we're going to be doing it.
I was planning on it. I saw it online on the
Yeah,
John Deere site. There's pretty good.
Yeah, it's fairly simple.
Yeah.
If you don't have a grease gun, get a grease gun because you do have grease points.
Got one. Yep.
You have each spindle.
Yeah.
And then one in the center of the axle because the axle actually pivots.
Right.
So there's one right directly in the center. A lot of people don't know about that one. They just know the two. Your deck isn't greasable until you have to replace the spindles. The replacement spindles are greasable. The factory ones are sealed bearings.
If anybody's looking for maintenance, go to the John Deere site, and all the manuals are there with it'll show you exactly how to grease the spindles and everything else. So I was just checking that out before you got here.
That's really about it.
That's great.
Your oil drain right here.
Okay.
Run it for about 5 minutes. Put your pan under there. You can move this out of the way so oil doesn't drip on it. It's just a little snap plug, zip tie. Just pull it out, push it aside, so you don't get oil on this.
Right.
Just disconnects like that. But turn your cap, pull it off. Let your oil drain. While your oil's draining, you want to spend less and less time servicing it. I've done a service in a half an hour, complete service, bumper to bumper. While your oil's draining, change your air filter, change your fuel filter, change your spark plugs. By the time you're done doing all that, your oil's already done draining. Put the cap back on, pull your oil filter off, slap your new oil filter on, dump your oil in, and you're all set to go.
Great stuff. I think that's probably pretty comprehensive. As far as using the side shooter versus just mulching, if I'm saying it right.
All right, yeah. If you're going to mulch, these blades right now are 3-in-1 blade. They come standard on all the entry-level tractors. It'll mulch. This is what mulching is. It's got that extra cut. It'll bag. It'll side discharge. They do offer a strictly mulching blade and a bagging blade. The difference being is the bagging blade, this is bent up a little bit more for more airflow. And the mulching blade, this cutting edge is smaller and this one's longer. So you get a better cut with mulching. Mulching, you have to spend time on cutting your grass.
Right.
The biggest complaint with people that mulch is they get clumps. And
Right.
the reason why they get clumps is because they're trying to mulch this much grass. And you should only be trying to mulch this much grass. So you should cut your grass 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah.
To keep it small, because what happens is if you're cutting this much grass off, the blade doesn't have time to process that. Because the mulching is basically the blade keeps cutting the same piece of grass multiple times so it can get small and fall down to your soil. Yes, it's better for your lawn. You'll have a nice greener lawn, but you have to have the time and dedication to mulch. A lot of people, once I tell them that, they're like, maybe I won't do that.
So you recommend going with the side shooter?
Your best bet is side discharge, windrow it, get it all into one row when you're cutting your grass, and then just rake it up.
Yeah.
Once a year, you can either rent or you can resell them, get a dethatcher to dethatch your lawn at the beginning of every season. That's get all that matted grass out of from the bottom of your grass. It'll help it grow better because it can get water and oxygen and sunlight.
All right, that's great.
That's really about it.
Well, thanks so much, Tim. I really appreciate the overview and the promptness. You got something else?
Yep. 4-position key switch.
Okay.
So you're at stop.
Yep.
This will turn your headlights on while it's running.
Yep.
Just running, and then start. So once you start it, take it back to run. If you want your headlights on, if you're mowing at night, not many people mow at night, but turn it back, the machine will stay running, but your headlights will come on, and then shut it off. It's that.
That's
Pull your key
perfect.
out.
I'm out of time here, so we'll say goodbye. Thanks so much.
Not a problem.
Dover Projects. Checking out the John Deere.